So, Malcolm, the question for you is as follows. About the pro-Israel network worldwide, the pro-Israel NGOs operating all over the world in defense of Israel, combating anti-Semitism, combating delegitimization of Israel. We hear many evidences that this current crisis will affect many different organizations. This or another extent, even we hear about organizations that might not even exist after this crisis. How do you see the importance of the pro-Israel NGOs, pro-Israel network worldwide, especially in these days in combating the issues that we've raised here in this conversation, and the importance of the resilience of this network?
Well, resilience is our middle name for the Jewish people, and I'm confident that we will emerge from this. Not the same, it'll be very different. We don't know yet how different. I think that there are organizations that may not survive. We already see signs of it. We see the closing of Jewish publications. We see other manifestations, but most have not come to terms yet with the true economic impact. We don't know when fundraising will be able to take place. We don't know how governments will be able to allocate funds after spending huge amounts in combating the virus and in providing assistance. And still the humanitarian needs are going to take precedence. I think most people don't even consider raising money for organizations when we don't have food for people, for elderly people, for others, when we need to provide for their medical and physical care. So we are not yet in a position, but I do believe, and that's why what I said earlier, that I think collectivizing the effort, we're trying to do that here. I think we see more of a willingness for organizations to come together because everybody knows they're not going to be able to do it alone. And if we can show how each can enhance their role, even with more limited resources, by working together. And as you know, Eran, I've been advocating that we set up a global security network of all of those working the security area to share information, best practices, but also alerts. Because just as the Europeans and others got the virus first or gave us the alert about it, and had people listen more to some of the countries, we might have spared more lives. The same thing is true in terms of the current security threats. And I think it's really going to be important for organizations to set aside a little bit of their institutional interests maybe, and to look at the collective need and bigger picture. I fully believe that when the campuses come back, we saw some of the BDS legislation put on hold, and one even reversed while the students were off campus. When they come back, they're going to be going full blast, and especially if it's before the conventions, when everybody will be grandstanding. So I think that that we all collectively should think about how do we share resources? How do we bring people together? We've done calls now with leaders from different countries, and frankly, it had a really profound impact on our constituents, on the member organizations of the Conference of Presidents. So this is a time when we have to, frankly, be prepared to do some zero-sum planning, to look at our communities and say, honestly, who belongs and where can we cut and where do we have to enhance? But it will take a lot of courage, and it'll take a really fortitude on the part of leaders, both professional and lay, to make that possible.